Good afternoon, everyone. It's Gina from Gina K Designs, and welcome to our February release party. We are so excited for today. We have some brand new stamps and dies, some standalone dies, and a few surprises to share with you. And we'd like to welcome everybody coming in from all around the world. We've been reading your comments before we went live, and it is just great to see all of you. We almost didn't make it today. The power went out in our building. But as I was pulling up, I thought I saw Tom hanging off a transformer, and then all of a sudden the power went back on, so we got lucky. Before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
I may or may not have been hanging off a transformer in the parking lot. So.
Well, I absolutely appreciate whatever you did to get it back up and running today, for sure.
No, we thank We Energy for getting out here and getting it back together. They're the ones hanging off a lot of things around here.
Yeah, and
days.
We had a super bad ice storm yesterday, so everything was. We didn't even know if we were going to make it, but we're here.
Yes,
we did it.
Happy Crafternoon, everybody. Yeah. It's just time for fun, right?
Time for fun. Relax. Yeah. Well, today we have our release party. We've got several of our illustrators that are going to be joining us, and Tom is going to be working the controls, and he's going to be monitoring your questions. I also have Sammy in the chat. So hi, Sammy. And Sammy is checking the website, making sure everything is right, making sure our incentive went up properly. And also, if you can't find anything and you need to ask for a link, Sammy is in the chat and she'll be able to provide that for you. So today it is February. It is our release party, and we are going to start by sharing a couple of stamp sets and die sets by our illustrators that were unable to make tonight's party. We were on a very tight deadline this time, and our stamps got so delayed. It was really hard. And so Arjita, unfortunately, can't be here because she just got her stuff in time to make a few things, but not in time to make a video. So I'm going to honor her because she makes such an effort to always be here. I'm going to honor her by kicking it off with her beautiful new set. So this is the brand new set by Arjita Singh. It is absolutely beautiful. It is called Blue Violets, and it's got this large violet image. And remember the video that I did just a couple of days ago with that fancy fold card? This is one of those perfect images for that. So if you're looking for something new to brighten up your collection, a beautiful new spring floral, this one is perfect. Not only does it have this beautiful big blue violets, it's got this I love the style of the drawing on this bird. And then it's got some standalone images that you can add into this if you wanted to do a whole field of violets where you could add some extra leaves and violets in there. And then it's got some great greetings. Get well soon. You're a wonderful friend. Thinking of you. Hello. Grateful for you. There's no one like you. And happy birthday. And it's got a coordinating die set, so you can cut that big image out for those fancy fold cards, and you can cut all of the single images out as well to be able to create beautiful bouquets or pop up certain areas of the card. Like, for example, this one right here looks very similar to this. So if you wanted to, you could cut this one out and pop it up over that, which would be really cool. And then maybe pop up some violets over this here. So you get a lot of dimension. So I just love this set. I love the font. I love all the sayings that are in there. It's a very good set for a beginner, because the images are very easy to color, and it's got a variety of all occasion greetings in here. So this is called Blue Violets. It's available now in our What's New category at GinaKDesigns.com. Okay, so that is our first set by our first illustrator. Now, I do want to show you our new incentive. I'm going to show this one a little bit closer. This is our brand new Happy Hydrangea. Let's zoom in on this one. Okay, hydrangeas are absolutely one of my favorite flowers. I have hydrangea bushes all over my property at home. Big, chunky hydrangeas, and I love them. And this one is so round and so perfect, and it's big enough for the front of an A2 card. It'll take up a good portion of this card, of the card. Now, the other thing that I like about these kinds of stamps, it is pretty busy, but that makes it really easy to color because you don't have these big areas of shading to do. So if you're a beginner and you're getting into coloring, as long as you have a few little lights and darks in here, this is going to look spectacular. Plus, you can use an image like this just with gold embossing or silver embossing and just have that striking embossed image on white or on black. You can also do the bleach technique with it by embossing it with gold and then bleaching out all of the areas inside, using it on a dark color. And then it's got some nice bold images too. The happy birthday, it's your day, you make me happy, and so very happy for you. So this is yours free with any $75 purchase in our store, and it ships automatically. You don't have to put it in your cart or anything like that. All you have to do is place an order that's $75 or more, and that is before taxes or shipping. So it's an actual $75 in merchandise, and it's after any coupons, because I know that sometimes when we do events, we've got some coupon codes out there if you're part of the event. But I don't think those coupon codes are good for our What's New category, but they're still good for a lot of other things. And no matter what you buy, if you spend $75, you get this set for free. So keep that in mind when you're making your purchase. It doesn't work for $74.95. It only works for $75 or more. And this is the Happy Hydrangea. All right. So our next stamp set I want to show you all of our illustrators who aren't here first, and then we can get into our illustrators that are here. So the next stamp set I want to show you is one by Beth Saleka, and this is so much fun. This is called A Whole Lot of Happy. And I love this because it is a whole lot of happy. This just covers everything, every holiday, every event that you can possibly think of. So even though we're going into spring, you might want to make happy graduation cards, or you might want to do Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. You can still use this for other things like Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. So this is a year-round set, one of those that will never leave your desk. And it's got this big plate that actually will cut out the happy. So that's kind of nice. And it's got dies that will cut out all of these images. So you can make bundles of balloons, or you can do stars all over, or you can do hearts and leaves. So this is one of those beautiful, well-rounded sets that everybody can use in their collection. One of those staples that you need a specific, happy new baby, or happy, because you can take the new from New Year and you can mask that off. And you can do Happy New Baby. So I love that. I love how you can mix and match. And I needed a good retirement stamp too. So this is a super fun set. It's available now by Beth Saleka, called Happy, Whole Lot of Happy. And remember that coordinating die set too. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that sometimes people will go on and they'll go to What's New and they're like, I don't see what I'm looking for. Make sure that you click on all the pages, because sometimes in our What's New category, we have more products that can fit on page 1. So if you scroll to the bottom of the screen, you'll see that you can click over to page 2. Okay, so I've got one more set to show you, and then we're going to bring in our first illustrator. So the final set I'm going to show you, other than my own bundle, is this gorgeous new set by Hannah Drapinski. This set is one that a lot of people really liked the sneak peek for this. I only showed you about that much of the image, but this is called Oceans of Love. And it's got some really neat greetings that say, sending you oceans of love. A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. Sometimes in the waves of change, we find our true direction. and then love you and thank you. Now, I wanted to check this so that I tell you the right one. So give me 1 second to find it. I've got Master Layouts 1 here. This set was designed to go with one of our Master Layout sets, and okay, it will cut out perfectly with Master Layouts 1. This is the smaller die from Master Layouts 1, so you can cut this out and still get the little black line around the outside. And then you can do the shadow layer with the bigger die. Now, if you only want to cut this out, you can cut it out with the bigger die and it will give you a white border around the outside. If you don't want to do any of that, you can stamp this right onto your card front and it will be perfectly sized to create an even border around any A2 card. And with all this fun tropical stuff and the birds, and this is a mountain actually that can go. Now, I wouldn't stamp it in here, but you could stamp it on the front of this. It fits perfectly inside here. You can stamp this in here and then do palm trees around it, so it could look like sand, or you could use these separately to create your own little tropical look as well. So this is the Oceans of Love stamp set, and I know a lot of my Florida friends were saying, oh, that's for me, got to get that one, and it's available now in the What's New category. Yeah, a sand dune, totally, Stephanie, it could be a sand dune. Yeah. All right. Well, now it is time to bring our first illustrator in. Before I bring her in, I am going to show you her new stamp set, and I am so jazzed about this one. In the sneak peek, I showed you how one of the elements is a two-step stamp, but there's actually more than one that are two-step stamps in this. So let me show it to you now. This is just the cutest. This stamp set is called Be Encouraged. And it's got this beautiful teacup and this cute saying about mint and all these mint leaves and flowers. And it's got a huge coordinating die set. And I love, one of the things I really like about this cup is that it cuts out the handle. It cuts out the center of the handle as well. So cute. You can make a little tea bag any way that you want. I'm sure Lisa is going to show you so much more about this. So this is by our friend Lisa Hetrick. And her video is waiting in the wings. So shall we welcome her now, Tom? Let's welcome Lisa now. All right, Tom's got her queued up, and I want to hear what she has to say. So I'm putting my little headphone in. There we go.
Hi, friends. It's Lisa Hetrick. Hi, Gina. Hi, Tom. Thank you to everyone for inviting me into your homes tonight for tonight's release party. I'm super excited to share my brand new stamp set called Be Encouraged. I have a ton of inspiration to share with you today. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and head to the down camera. I'm going to get started first with the stamp set. This stamp set is called Be Encouraged, and it's the first time I've done something a little cheeky. The sentiment here is sending you a little encouragement, a little play on words, and the entire stamp set, like the leafery bits and pieces in here, are mint. And I'm going to show you in some of the samples that I have. I've got this really fun, whimsical teacup and some of the blooms. I'm going to go through all of the blooms, and I've got some hydrangea blooms here. This stamp set also has a coordinating die set available and something a little bit new that Gina added to the set that I just think it's just super fun. All right, let's go ahead and go through what the images look like in the stamp set. So I've got this wild and wonky cup or teacup. For me, it's a teacup. It could be a coffee cup for you. I've got a little polka dot stamp that is a perfect two-step stamp for the wonky cup here. I've got these cute little bits and pieces here. This is a little tea bag that works with the teacup and a little heart. And here are all of our mint elements. So I've got quite a few two-step stamping options with the mint. You can take the base line art piece of the mint and stamp the shadow here, or the two-step stamping here, and you can also do a two-step stamping there. And then this piece of mint that's going in the opposite direction, you've got the line art version of that as well to complete that image. So over here, I also have some line art and some solid images. These are all kind of hydrangeas for just kind of getting ready for some spring. And I've got the center stamens that can be stamped into these two stamps, these two solid stamps, and then I also have one that has a center with it. The sentiments, the two sentiments are be encouraged. I just love that sentiment, the positivity of it, to just feel encouraged in your day and also send that to a friend or a family member. The sending you a little encouragement also has a coordinating die that will cut that sentiment out, which is kind of super fun and a little something different for the sentiment in this set. The cup die also will cut out the center portion of the handle. And there's pretty much a die for all of the elements in the stamp set to help you complete all of the pieces. So let's go ahead and dive into the inspiration. Okay, so this is a really fun card that uses every stamp set every stamp in the stamp set, and also that die cut for sending you a little encouragement. Here's that little piece that I was telling you about with the little tea bag coming out of the mug. We've got our leafery, we have our mint, and we have our flowers here just for this super fun, cute card. Okay. You know me, I love to do a pattern card, and the florals are perfect for doing some patterns. This is a really great sentiment from tonight's incentive set. Just perfect to work right in with these flowers. Just love it. Here's some more patterns. I just love this color scheme. I love this mint, and with the sentiment be encouraged. Just kind of fun, really simple, sweet card. Alrighty, this one might be my favorite. Actually, the next one might be my favorite too. I know I say that about everything. Just did a little bit of coloring with some colored pencils here with my hydrangeas. Did some base work with some of the other solid stamps and just added that cute little heart element inside of the wonky teacup just to add a little bit of extra texture and dimension along with that polka dot. Just love this, super cute. That's So Very Happy for You is from the new incentive set, and it's just perfect right there. Just finishes off that card really nicely. Okay, we got a little watercolor magic here. So that the open line wonky teacup is perfect for doing any kind of coloring with your favorite coloring medium. And I've got these cute little hydrangeas and added a little bit of the hearts right there. Just loving that. I actually used the Gina K Designs inks when I stamped these hydrangea images to bleed out and just create that watercolor. I love that little mint that's on the front of the mug. You could stamp anything on the front of that mug just to give it a little extra character. Love it. All right, another super sweet and simple card using the mint and the flower elements and building them up. Just a perfect little happy birthday card. Add and also use that polka element that you can use with the mug as a backgrounder, and it just makes a really fun polka background. Okay, I just had some fun doing some patterns with the mint and the encouragement sentiment. Just a really super clean, kind of springy green card. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay, same for this one. I just did a really, really fun patterned background with the polkas, added a little bit of the mint on top with that cute little cheeky sentiment to just kind of bring it all together. I have a brand new inspiration sheet for the Be Encouraged card ideas. You'll be able to find this inspiration sheet in the Gina K Designs group And you'll also be able to find it on my website at indigojadeart.com and click on the freebies. And you'll be able to grab this inspiration sheet for 8 card ideas using Be Encouraged. Okay, let's take another look at the stamp set. This is Be Encouraged, and it is available now at GinaKDesigns.com. You can find it in the What's New section. I cannot wait to see what you create with this brand new stamp set. I will be going live tomorrow on my YouTube channel at 11:30 Eastern. I'll be sharing this stamp set, Be Encouraged, with another one in my stamp set line with a fun mashup. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of watercolor magic. Thanks so much, Gina and Tom, for inviting me into tonight's live. I'm super excited. There's a great show that Gina has planned for tonight, and I can't wait to see what everybody creates. Have a great night, and thanks so much for joining me. I'm really grateful to all of you. Have a great night.
Lisa, that was absolutely incredible. Your cards were gorgeous, and I love your idea sheet. I mean, everybody needs a big mug like that in their collection because there are just so many fabulous things to fill it with, and it's just sensational. I love it. So that's the Be Encouraged set by Lisa Hetrick, and make sure you follow Lisa Hetrick on social media. I know she already talked about this, but she goes live on YouTube all the time. She's got tons of videos for you. She is just the queen of inspiration. If you can't find inspiration with Lisa's stamp sets, you're not looking in the right place because she is everywhere. She's on Instagram. She does everything. So make sure you check her out. If you're looking for her socials and you can't find them, you can always go to our website, GinaKDesigns.com, click on the About Us tab, and all of our illustrators and team members come up, and you can find all their social media sites right there and find Lisa's YouTube channel and go subscribe. Lisa, thank you so much for being here and making time for us today. Your set is amazing. Well, our next illustrator is waiting in the wings, and she's got a set this time that I am absolutely in love with. This is going to be one of those stamp sets that never leaves my stamp table because it's got all the elements that I love. It's got the big words that you can cut out with dies, and the font is beautiful. It's trendy, and it, it's not too cutesy, but it's not too formal. And then it's got strip sentiments that you can do with those big sentiments that you can cut out with our strip sentiments dies. And it's got some really simple floral designs. So let me show it to you right now. I'm going to grab it over here. This is it. And this is called Positive Greetings by Debbie Warner. Look at that. Look at how big those greetings are. But they're not too big. And that's another thing that I love because let's say you're doing the hydrangea, right? And you want a word to kind of go over part of that. Something like this is not going to take up your whole card. You can just have it draped across a little bit and it'll still show a lot of the design, which I love. Yet they're big enough that if you did some fantastic backgrounds, that you would be able to create a greeting section on that with a few sequins around it, and it's still enough to fill it up. And look at the size of this die set. Look at all of these dies. So, and remember, all of our dies come with the magnetic board, and the layout to get them on the board is on the front of the package. So every single one of these has a die. And what I saw somebody do is they actually numbered their stamp set. So on the acetate sheet, they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on the dies with a Sharpie, they wrote the corresponding number. So you don't have to try to figure out which die goes with the stamp. So I thought that was kind of a cool trick. I'm not going to talk about this set anymore. I'm going to let Debbie join us and tell you all about it. So let's welcome her to the program. Here she is, Deborah Warner.
Hi, everybody. It's Debbie Warner, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Thank you, Tom and Gina, for including me. I'm so happy to be here and to be part of the team and to be joining the other illustrators for our release party in February 2023. I have a new stamp set called Positive Greetings. I think it's always good, it makes me feel good when I can provide friends and family with positive messages. And I think with this stamp set, you'll be able to do that. There are many large words in this stamp set. And Gina had a brilliant idea, and she had dies created for each and every one of those large words. So let me read them to you. It's outstanding, wonderful, marvelous, beautiful, fabulous, awesome, exquisite, gorgeous, amazing. And then there's some smaller words in there so you can put together things like have a fabulous birthday, or you are amazing, my friend. I do have some samples, of course, that I will share with you, and you'll be able to see some of the ways I mix the words together, but there are so many different options. There are also 2 flower images in here. I thought those would be kind of fun to use on some cards. So as always, I have created some samples, and I will go to my overhead still shots so that you can see them better.
On my first sample, I used dark sage ink and I stamped the image on the sandy beach cardstock. I then colored in the image with my Gamsol and colored pencils, and the big greeting amazing is also stamped in dark sage on craft cardstock. Finished it off on a craft card base with some craft twine that I had in my stash. On this example, my color palette is turquoise sea and moonlit fog. I did color the flowers in using some alcohol markers. The fun part was I made a peekaboo window using some acetate so you could see the larger greeting on the inside. On this card, I used plum punch and ivory cardstock. I stamped the flowers in Christmas pine and then colored them in with alcohol markers. I used bitty backgrounds with some sandy beach and softened the ivory with sandy beach ink blending as well. I used Master Layouts 4, Master Layouts 10, our sentiment strips, and I also finished it off with some of our frozen rhinestones. On this card, I created a panel using our brick wall stencil and in the navy ink. I then stamped the flowers onto a piece of vellum with white embossing powder. I flipped it over and I went ahead and colored those in with alcohol markers. I finished it off with our clear quartz embellishments and the 2 greetings. On this card, I decided to do the messy watercolor technique. I did use watercolor paper, I believe it's Canson, and I did stamp the flowers with gold embossing powder. I then went ahead and put all kinds of splatter on it to match the paint that I used, and I finished off the edges with gold embossing powder and the greetings again with gold embossing powder. On this example, I used the Harvest Flourish stencil with some glitz glitter gel. I then cut that out with the scalloped rectangle from Master Layouts 4. That circle is out of vellum, and again, I used our sentiment strips. I used cherry red for the flowers and the ink. And I really think that this style could be used for a wedding card. I just love the sparkle shine of it. I always enjoy making a couple tags, and these came together quite quickly. I used our stencils and did some ink blending through them. The word awesome is actually stamped directly onto the tag, but the word outstanding I did cut out with the coordinating die. These were really fun to do.
So there you have my samples. I hope that you enjoyed them. I had fun making them as always. I love making cards and I love sharing them with you. I hope that you find them inspiring and that my cards give you some ideas, my tags too. So I do also like to share what my favorite card was. And this release, it was this one because it's just a little different for me. I do have a little peekaboo window here, and I think it shows that big word marvelous really well. You can kind of do some fun things with this design. And I actually pulled out my Moonlit Fog, which I hadn't used in a while, and I really love that color. It's a soft green-gray, I guess I'd call it. Anyway, if you don't have it, you need to get it because it's really a great color. So I want to thank everybody. Please share your work. We do love to see what you do with our stamp sets. We have some great guest designers that have some awesome inspiration for you as well. So please, if you're not part of our Facebook group, please join it because we'd love for you to be part of that community. And be safe. We are in the middle of the winter in Wisconsin, and we have some big storms coming up, probably already by the time this airs. So anyway, no matter where you are, please be safe. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.
The Positive Greeting set from Debbie Warner. I love that set, Debbie. And I loved your cards. They were amazing. Thank you so much for making all of those. You know, I call a set like that a mojo starter too, because you know those times where you don't know what to make? A set like that, you could just get it out. You can stamp a ton of the greetings. You can emboss some of them in gold or silver or black embossing powder, you know, to get them shiny. And then you can cut them out and put them in a little container, and you've got greetings ready to go for when you've got that mojo and you're really making backgrounds and cards, and you've got all these greetings ready to go. So it's just one of those must-have basics for everybody's collection. Debbie, thank you so much for creating another fantastic set for Gina K Designs. We love that one. We love it so much. All right. Well, now we have waiting in the wings, the queen herself, my friend Melanie Muenchinger, and she has created a absolutely fantastic set. When I showed some of the people around here this set, they literally gasped because the artwork is so beautiful in this set. It always is. Melanie has a way of drawing those realistic animals where you could just reach out and pet them. They're so beautiful. And this one is especially amazing. I happen to really love horses. My daughter Alicia loves horses. Our wholesale rep here, Natalie, loves horses, owns horses, and we've been out to the barn and we've had opportunities to interact with her horses. And this one is amazing. So I want to show you this one. This is called Beautiful Barnyard. And look at the gorgeous images in this set. First of all, I love that there are so many different size images for this set because it's got this whole barn right here, this whole farm, really. It's absolutely amazing. And then it's got a horse that's really small. It's got some silhouette horses for way in the background. Then it's got a horse that's a little bit bigger that could be used as a focal image for a smaller card or a tag. And then it's got this beautiful horse right here, which is so stunning. Then it's got the cow. It's got just a whole bunch of little animals in here. And then I love this right here. This barn fence, love it. And then it's got some quick quippy greetings like neighbor, what's mood? You see the way I did that? Neighbor, hey there. And then it's got ones that we can really use like so sorry for your loss. And then you can say like, hey there, neighbor. You know, I love us, or what's moo, or horses. Horses touch our heart. Cows touch our heart. For the farmers out there, for my Midwestern friends who have these kinds of farms all around you like we do, such a beautiful set. And it's got a die set that is just perfect for this, this collection. And I do think that this one, actually, the die image that I have here, I believe that we edited it to be straight so that it can connect, but I should look at that. I'm going to look at that real quick right now before we bring Melanie in. I have to look. Yeah. Yep. Oh, no, not that one. This side over here. That's right. Okay, so the horse is straight across the bottom, so he can go right up against this. Yeah, that's what we did. We changed the way the horse goes. All right, so, and you can see, I wanted to remind everybody that we've got these big magnets that are part of all of our coordinating die sets. So if it's a big die set, it has a big magnet. If it's a small die set, it has a small magnet, as long as it coordinates with the stamps. And we do that because it makes it very easy for you to put your dies on the board, take your stamps, put them together, and then into a Gina K Design stamp pocket and store everything together. All right. Well, you know that the queen herself, Melanie Muenchinger, is going to blow your mind right now. So get ready. Take a deep breath, because we're going to bring her in right now. Let's welcome her, Melanie Muenchinger.
Hi everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. I am so excited to be here for our February release party, sharing my newest set from Gina K Designs with you, Beautiful Barnyard. Beautiful Barnyard is the newest in my Realistic Nature series, and it coordinates with a past set that I came out with, Farmyard Friends. Now, I didn't have room in this first set to include a horse and a cow, which are some really traditional classic animals for farms, so I knew that I had to come out with a second set for you. And in addition to a nice little windmill and then a very versatile little fence builder here that you can stamp all the way across your cards or scrapbook projects or giftables, but you can also stack up. We have got one of the largest illustrations that I've ever drawn, if you don't include my frame stamps that I've done. This beautiful barnyard scene is going to be so versatile, and it's just going to become a favorite in your collection. It's quickly becoming a favorite in mine. I want to go ahead and just get straight into the samples, and then I will show you a die set that we've got that coordinates and one of my inspiration sheets, which I will upload to our file section. So to begin, I have got that scene just stamped here in our Gina K Jet Black. And then I've done some very simple coloring and some very simple blending on that scene. I masked a sun or a moon, depending on how you look at this scene. And then I added 2 of those little horses there, and so sorry for your loss greeting. So I just love these 2 horses together. I just think it's just such a sweet image. Also works really well for anniversaries. I'll show you several different ways to color this, this scene as we go through the cards today. The second one that I've got this one actually on a portrait style card, and I'm using the fence here that I have stamped out twice, and I have used some of those coordinating dies to cut out the head of that horse. So you can put these on either side of the fence, so they're visiting here. I've got, again, simple blending for the sky and on the grass, and then more of a fall palette coloring that I've done on those trees, and then just some very simple coloring on the horse. And I will show you in a video how to do this. It's very easy to color horses and cows because they can be solid or they can be patchy. You don't have to do a lot of shading. And then I put a lot of contouring and shadows in the illustration already. And then I've got this hey there neighbor greeting. So I've got some fun puns in addition to kind of the more traditional greetings that you'll be using. On this next card, I wanted to show you how you can do something without coloring using some of the line art images in this set and then that windmill. So we've got the 2 horses here, and in those different sizes, it's really going to create a sense of depth. So you've got a foreground, a middle ground, and then with this windmill here, the background. So I've done just some plum punch and then a little bit of edible eggplant on the sky. And then down below, I have got some of the honey mustard, prickly pear, and then a little bit of the jet black here at the bottom. And I included this I love us greeting. And so there's so many ways that you can pair up the different animals, not just in this set, but in all my sets, to create little couples or pairs of friends. And so I just love that I love us. And then I just sprinkled in some stars and then again, reverse masked a moon there. Very easy, quick card to make. And the next one that I wanted to show is with some of those smaller cows here. And we've got another pun here. We've got a what's moo. So I cut out with one of the die cuts, the cow that's closer to us. And then I just stamped the smaller cow here in the middle. I didn't want that one dimensional. I really want just this one cow coming forward so that everything pushes back. And so my blending just got lighter and lighter here on the grass. And then up here on the sky, I've got some of the turquoise sea ink. So again, just a couple markers on here, a light and a dark green marker, and then a black and a gray on those cows. Super fun. The next card, I wanted to show you something fun with the larger cow. So I made kind of a fun, just friendship card here. And oh, my What's Moo greeting fell off. Must still be in the pile. Anyway, I had one down here before, so it came off with my foam squares. But I've got the hey there up there again. And then I didn't bring it in here to shoot the video, but this is a new hearts embossing folder that Gina just released. So I thought that would be super fun. I embossed it on a black piece of paper and then also some of the innocent pink. I cut out these sections just to look like large cow spots. And then I just rubbed my white pigment ink over that. So really fun and easy to do. And then again, just very simple coloring on the cow. Gray for the underside, for those shadows, some black splotches, and then a little pink in the nose and the ear areas. So that's super fun to send to a friend. I wanted to show you also another option that you could do for that horse. I have used my boards from my Perfect Palette set. So I've got the bold board in warm cocoa and then the line art board stamped over it in our charcoal brown. And then I just stamped that horse at the top. So you don't have to do die cutting or any fussy cutting on that. You can just stamp that right at the top of one of those boards and it looks like it's looking over barn door or from the fence or one of the horse stable stalls. And then I've got this greeting from one of Gina's other new sets here, and I forgot to bring it in, but just this is a really nice neutral or masculine design that you could send for a birthday. And then I colored it like Black Beauty. So I just love coloring these horse stamps. The next horse one that I want to show you, I wanted to show you that, you know, if you don't like blending, if you have a limited number of markers or colors or you don't really like coloring, you can just stamp that scene there in black and you don't have to do any coloring at all. I added 2 die cut horses here so that I could put them in front of the scene. And I used one of Debbie's new greetings from her new set. I forgot to bring that in as well. But I thought Have a Wonderful Anniversary would be really nice with these 2 horses there in the foreground. And so I've got one of the little Gina K rainbow hearts there. So I just wanted to stick with just a monochromatic palette here, let the red pop. And then I colored these with just 2 markers so that it would look like a gray horse and a white horse. Just a little bit of shadowing there. Finally, I want to show you what you can do with the scene. No greeting here, and you really don't even have to have any of the animals. But again, I just said I love that horse stamp. So this is in front, or excuse me, behind one of our master layouts greetings, or dies, sorry. And you could also use this with my window stamp or the window die that she also has in the master layout. So there's one that has the curved top and then one that's good for landscape style cards. So I just stamped that out. I did some simple green and blue blending for the grass and for the sky. And then I made the house red this time just so that it would pop and coordinate with this red hot background. So I can't wait to just make all different kinds of scenes, all different kinds of skies, all different color palettes for those leaves with this new beautiful barnyard set. I just love, 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 love this stamp. Here is the inspiration sheet that I've got for you. So you can see similar layouts to all of the designs that I created today. A few differences. Here's one with 2 of the horses behind the fence. Here's some cows in front of the fence. So just so many ways to use these stamps, and they go very, very quickly. I created all of these in just a couple hours before shooting this video. My stamps just came. Here is the coordinating die set. I do not have dies in this set for the little tiny silhouettes, because those are really just for scene building. So that was intentional, but all the larger animals and then that fence you are able to cut out if you choose to purchase the dies. I forgot to add these on any of the samples, but I just want to point out one last thing, that I have all of these little butterfly stamps here, and these are really fun for creating your scenes, whether you want to stamp them tone on tone or in a black, if you want to have them perching on the nose of one of those animals like I do here on the cow. And then just to show you also, I've got horses and cow sentiments in this stamp set that can go with Touch Our Hearts for those of you that just really love these animals or keep them on your farm or as pets to ride. And those particular words work with also, in addition to that one that I just pointed out to you, enjoy the simple life with, or happiness is horses or cows. So anyway, I really enjoyed showing my new set to you. I can't wait to see all the different cards that you're going to make. Please, please, please upload them on our Facebook friends group and make sure to tag me so that I see those. Thank you everybody for watching tonight, and I really look forward to getting to chat with you tomorrow and reading your questions. Love you. Bye. Thanks, Gina.
Wow, wow, wow. Melanie, that was incredible. Her cards, month after month after month, they're little masterpieces that if you got one of those in the mail, you would frame it, right? I mean, those scenes are unbelievable. But let me tell you something about Melanie's artwork, because for some of you that are newer and you look at that and you go, oh, I could never do that. I could never color that. The thing that Melanie does that is fantastic is she creates so much of the shading in the artwork. So all you have to do is add the brown for the horse, or, you know, the green for the trees. You don't have to figure out how to shade the tree because all of that shading and everything is already in the artwork. So her stamps are remarkably easy to use, even though they are very complex and create these beautiful scenes. So Melanie, thank you for sharing your artistic talent with us and making stamping like that so easy and attainable. I love it. And then she's got those fantastic idea sheets every month, like Lisa. They both provide so much inspiration for you. So make sure you check out Melanie's YouTube channel too. Again, if you're looking for her, her name is Melanie Muenchinger, and you can find her by going to ginakdesigns.com, clicking on the About Us tab, and all of our design team and illustrators, everybody comes up. You'll be able to find their social media sites very easily that way, and then subscribe to her YouTube channel. She always does a pretty great video after a release. So I'm sure she's got one in the works if she doesn't already have one ready. Melanie, thank you so much for joining us. Your artwork blows our mind. All right, everybody. Well, this is so much fun. I'm having a great time looking at all this inspiration. But now I've got something really exciting to share with you. It's a new bundle. But before that, I have a couple of other products that maybe you didn't even know were in the mix. So I want to show you some brand new things that are also in the What's New category and how they work together. So the first thing I want to show you is our Happy Duo die set. Now, this die set is really fun because it's got the block letters for happy, but it's also got the small letters. So we have capitals and smalls, and then we've got the shadow layer. So let me pull this out and you can see this is not quite as big as Beth's set, but what's great is these die words will work with Beth's set, right? Because you can use these happies if you wanted just dies instead. And you can see the nice size that they are. So they're not too big, especially this one. And then you can get that shadow layer. So it's easy to put these together. Super clean fonts. Yes, Kathy Z, I know you're the clean font lady, right? I love the clean fonts too. And we've been doing a lot with the last die set, the Love Trio that came out last month. But now we're looking at spring and summer. You can still use that love for other things. But now we're going to do something with happy. Now, after I designed these happy dies, let me put them back in here because I don't have them boarded up yet on a magnet. I always buy extra magnets from Stampin' Storage to put all my word dies on so they're easy to find. Let me show you what I designed to go with this. So this set is called Scripty Quartet. So these are all words that you can use with happy. Now, if you just want this part and you don't want the happy, you can use Beth's happy from her set and stamp the word happy. Or if you want to do all dies, you can have this combination. So here's what we have. Happy birthday, happy hello, happy for you. Okay. But then we can use the for separately. We can use the U separately if you've got something else that you want to do. So maybe you want to use the love die and you want a different U. So you can use this U, and each of these has a shadow die. And sometimes we have a big U in our collection. So you might want to use a small 4 over that big U. So mixing and matching these together is so much fun. Let me show you the size of these. They're a really nice size. They're not too overpowering. Oop, there they go, right out of the bag. They're not too overpowering. And I love a small hello word, because we've got some big hellos in our collection, but a small one is really fun. And then being able to mix that with the happy is so fun. And I would suggest, and I will show this in another video, that you can even cut into the word happy with the scripty die to cut a little bit of it off so it lays flat together and you can layer them. So I'll show that in another video for sure. But we also have this big birthday, which is nice. It's a little different than our other birthday die. This one kind of coordinates more with some of our other dies that we have in our collection. So you can mix and match those as well. So they are our 2 new die sets, and I just love word dies. You can never get enough word dies. And again, these word dies, just like Debbie's word set, these are great mojo starters. A great thing to do when you don't know what to do, and then they're all ready to go. Okay. So there are new word dies. Now I want to show you a new embossing folder that just came in, and I love this because to me it's appropriate any time of the year. This one is called our, where is it there? Happy Hearts embossing folder. Let me see if I can take it out of the package so you can see it a little better. I really wanted to have time yesterday to emboss everything and show you, but I didn't have time to do it. But you can see this is really fun. It's more delicate than, you know, big hearts all over the place, and it can be used for any card. It's, to me, a heart background is as simple as a Swiss dot background because it is non-intrusive, and hearts just always radiate a little bit of love that you're sending to the recipient. So you can use this behind anything. You can use it behind your big floral images. You can use it behind critter images, or you can do fun embossing folder techniques and create a background full of hearts that's just hearts. So this is the Happy Hearts, and it's a 5x7 because I know a lot of you make the bigger cards, so you want the bigger panel in there. So this is a 5x7. Dorothy, this might be the one Melanie used. I am not 100% sure, but it sure looked like it. When I saw it, it looked like, if it wasn't, if she had stamped that with just stamps, she must have found stamps that were very close in size, because that would just work. All right, so there we go. Now I want to show you the new bundle, and I'm going to show you 2 things at the same time. I'm going to show you the new bundle, and then I'm going to show you some new Poly-Glaze sheets. 2 of them coordinate with the bundle. So I'll show you the one that doesn't coordinate with the bundle now. So we did another Poly-Glaze sheet. And for those of you that are new to foiling, Poly-Glaze is a great way to use your deco foil, the kind of foil that goes through a laminator. And check this one out. This is our new Tiny Dots Poly-Glaze sheet. I didn't do a box around this one because I figured that you could either cut it out with the Master Layouts 2 die, and then it would cut into that a little bit. Or if you wanted to cut it out with Master Layouts 1, it would already create a border for you. Or you can do it just like this right onto your A2 panel, and it will be perfectly centered and sized and ready to go. But dots are always awesome, and this is just a delicate dot pattern. Easy to throw through the laminator with some pretty gold or silver foil and just give a little bit of sparkle behind your project. So I'm really trying with these Poly-Glaze sheets to do things that you can use all the time, that they're not heavily themed, that they just work with anything. So this is our brand new Tiny Dots Poly-Glaze sheets. If you're new to Poly-Glaze, I am going to demonstrate it a little bit in just a minute. But I'm going to show you with our new bundle, okay? And then you'll know that all the Poly-Glaze works the same way. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay, and we've got lots of other Poly-Glaze on our website. We actually set up a Poly-Glaze category for you now, so you can find it much easier, everything that's Poly-Glaze. Okay, so now it is time for the new bundle. So instead of doing a kit this time, we decided to do a bundle. This bundle should be a kit, though. Everybody out there in our shipping department is saying, if you'd put it in a box, it would have been a kit because there's so much in here. But our bundles are a little bit lower priced, so it's a better price point for everybody, and this is jam-packed with fun. This is called the Radiant Rose Layering Bundle. So with this bundle, we did an index sheet so that you can keep the sheet with your bundle. And this way, because I notice a lot in our group, people will show a picture of a die set and they'll say, what does this go to? And it ends up being part of a bundle, or it coordinates with something. If you like to keep your bundles together, these are really nice because it has everything that's inside right on the sheet. So this bundle has a 5x7 embossing folder, and look at this one. I did the sneak peek of this one. This is called the Radiant Rose 5x7 embossing folder. It is fantastic. It's got this huge rose design. Oh, it's so hard to see these, but hopefully you can see that. Is it better if I put it up against that? There we go. So it's got this huge rose design. Now, what's neat about this is if you're making a 5x7 card, for my girls and guys that like the big cards, it's got a border built into it. So you can do this rose, and then it has this elegant border that will create an impression around the outside. But for my 5x7, my A2 friends, you can just use a portion of this and cut it out with a master layouts, and it will, just cut out a portion and create this kind of little bit of a curved rose. So you can do it either way. If you like the big border, go for the border. If you like the smaller card, just use what's inside. The other thing, for those of you who maybe have big dies, some of you have these giant dies, and we have some big dies in our collection too. Let me find one for you here. This is, I just dropped one, but that's okay. Here it is. Sorry, I just have to show you this. This is Master Layouts 8. Okay, so Master Layouts 8 is our 5x7 set. Now, if, let's just say, you just wanted the border, part of the border, you could get this 5x7, you could get this in here and probably cut out the first little bit of this, and then it would have an impression going around the outside to flat. So you could possibly use this to cut out the inside if you wanted. It's worth a try. I haven't tried that, but I thought there's a possibility that that might work. I think that would cut out the whole first layer of the border right there. So you'd have that little skinny border edge on that. So there's lots of fun mix and match things that you can do with this. Definitely worth a try. But some of you have layering dies that go all the way up to 5x7. So you might be able to find a die that fits right in there where you could cut the center out and use that as a decorative frame. Okay, so that is the embossing folder, the Radiant Rose that comes in the bundle. Okay, let's see here. All righty. Now our master layouts, we have some big master layout sets. Okay, then you have this beautiful stamp set. Now, for those of you that aren't interested in the Poly-Glaze, you do not have to do the Poly-Glaze that I'm going to do today, because the Poly-Glaze are the outline images. And that allows you to do outline images in gold, silver, glitter foil if you want. But if you just want to stamp these outline images, you can. And then you can cut them out with this die set. Okay, so this die set can cut these out. Now, this die set will also cut around the embossing folder images. So if you wanted to cut out a blank and put that into the embossing folder and emboss it, you can have a die cut piece that will actually be 3D, which is pretty cool. I know I have so many things to show you guys over the next month, so just hang in there, okay? And then if you want to do two-step stamping, we've got the solid images that you can stamp. Of course, the die will cut out either one of these, and all of these will be cut out with the die. Now, this one here, this die and this die, you actually should cut these out first and then stamp the two parts of the roses in there. It'll be much easier than stamping them and trying to make the die fit. And again, I will be showing you how to do that in an upcoming video. It's got some fantastic greetings, and I love the font in here. So very grateful, thankful for you, and a birthday wish for you. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about that. It also has a word die set. So you can cut all of these words out. And when they cut out, I had a whole bunch of them, but I think they're in my office, so I don't have them here. But when you see how these cut out, they cut out around everything. And it looks so beautiful and so elegant and easy to mount onto your card. And because these are so delicate, by cutting them out, the greeting won't get lost in the bold artwork of these roses. And then I've got a layered stencil that coordinates with all of this. So with stencils, okay, so let me just explain something to you about stencils and embossing folders. And I learned this, that embossing folders are injection molding, and sometimes they shrink or swell a little bit, a tiny bit. Hardly noticeable, but enough to just make things a tiny bit off. So when you stencil this, you will notice that this flower, if you have it on this flower, it's just a hair lower. All you have to do is shift that down just a little bit to stencil those two, and then shift it over a little bit to stencil that one. But it's still super easy. But I just want to clarify that so nobody calls and says they don't match up. They really weren't intended for this, but then people started, my designer started telling me that they could stencil over the embossing. And I thought, wow, I didn't even think of that. I was thinking more of being able to stencil inside of these line art stamped images, and to also stencil inside the add-on Poly-Glaze. So if you wanted to add on the Poly-Glaze, this is not the actual size, but if you wanted to add on the Poly-Glaze, you would be able to foil these, and then instead of trying to stamp in there, you would be able to stencil in there. And I cannot wait to show you all of this. I just can't wait. So these are add-ons. The Poly-Glaze is an add-on. Now you see it's in two parts, so you can do all of your rose parts first and then all of your greenery second, and you can see on there that it all lines up to create a beautiful image. So if you love stenciling, stencil your card. If you love stamping, stamp your card. If you love stamp and stencil, use them together. If you want to stencil over the embossed, you just shift it around a little bit and you can stencil over this embossed image. Now, I want to show you one more Poly-Glaze add-on. It's the words, because I know you guys love these delicate words in glittery foil, gold, and silver. And of course, the die set cuts out all the words in the Poly-Glaze. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, how come, you didn't do one big die set for this? We have this die set and this die set. The reason is because between the two die sets, it equals one big die set. But if you only wanted to buy the flowers to do Poly-Glaze and the dies, they will work together. This is after it gets released independently down the line. You could do that. If you just love these greetings and you're not interested in anything else, down the line, you'll be able to just get the Poly-Glaze greetings and this die set. So this allows you to pick and choose all of the different components down the line. That's why we just broke these two out. Okay, so this is the brand new bundle. Now, I thought it'd be fun to do a little Poly-Glaze and show you how to stencil, because the stenciling will only be complicated the very first time. And I'm going to show you a little trick. Where are my stencils? Oh, here they are. I'm going to show you a little trick for these stencils. So we'll do a little Poly-Glaze for this card. And then I promise you the next video will not have foiling in it, because I know a lot of you are just going to want to see how to use the bundle. And I want to show you that too. But I am going to show you the Poly-Glaze, how this works with the stencil. And this same stenciling tip will work for the stamps. So I'm going to turn my Mink on, and I'm going to turn it up to 3. Now, some people are telling me they have a little more luck using 4 with their Mink. So here's my thing. When it comes to the Mink, and this is the Rolls Royce of all laminators, the mini Mink or the regular Mink, if you use a Mink, you have all these different heat settings, which is a blessing, because if you want to do something on vellum, you can go way down to level 1. Let's say you wanted to use some Decofoil transfer gel. You could go all the way down to level 1 and you won't, crinkle up your vellum because it's not as hot as level 5. But if you wanted to foil something on a thin piece of chipboard that's a lot thicker, you might want to go up to level 5. For Poly-Glaze, some of you are having luck on level 3, some are having luck on level 4. My suggestion is, instead of doing a whole sheet, take one sheet to be your learning sheet. Cut one word out and try Poly-Glazing it. If it's not getting great coverage, bump up your heat. If you have a regular laminator and it's not getting great coverage, put a shim behind it to get it closer to the heat. And a shim is just a piece of cardstock inside your carrier sheet. So for those of you that are new to foiling, these are not hot foil plates. Obviously, these are very economical. They are used with a laminator. You can use a household laminator, but the Mink is my favorite, followed by the Off Nova, which I think we sold out in the United States, but it might be still available in Canada. And then I also like the Amazon laminator. I like the Royal Sovereign. I do not care for the Scotch very much. I know some people have it, and some people have great luck with it. I have not had great luck with it. Doesn't mean that it's me. It doesn't mean that it's the laminator. It could be me, user error, but I've done this so much that I really like to tell you what's worked for me. Now I'm going to use a carrier sheet. This is a carrier sheet that comes with the Mink, but if you don't have these, you can use, let me see where I put that. Here it is. Let me grab this. This is the craft and carrier sheets from ThermoWeb. It's Decofoil. We carry these on our website. These are different than their old parchment paper type. And the reason they're different is because the old ones used to be made of parchment paper. These are made with a special paper that has a silicone lining. They're less apt to wrinkle. They create a little bit more heat, and they're really, really awesome. I love them. I'm going to be using this carrier sheet today, and I'm going to start with one of these designs here from the Radiant Roses flowers. Now, I do want to tell you something real quick, because I know we've got like 2,600 people here, and now is the time for me to tell you, tonight, I'm going to be back live again, but not here on my channel. I am actually a guest tonight. You want to go to my front shot so I can tell them this? I am actually a guest tonight on Craft Roulette. And I'm going to put a link in the description here in this video to Craft Roulette's video for tonight so you can find it easily. But if you just are on YouTube and you type in Craft Roulette, their channel will come up. And I am going to be their guest. And I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie, because what they do is they spin a wheel and they pick 4 different parameters that your card has to have. And I know I wing it every time I get on a live. I just wing it. But I wing it with what I know. I mean, they have categories on there like elephant and robots and things that start with F, which I hope I get, because You know me, I'm a flower girl, but I don't know. So I'm going to be on that show tonight, and I would love you to come and join me just to know that you're out there and feel your support. I think I'll have a better run at it tonight. So head over there tonight. I wanted to say that before any of you leave, because I know a lot of you are like in here on your lunch hour, and I really appreciate you guys making time for us, because we are swamped in here tonight and today. And that means that a lot of you are either sneaking in on the side or made special time to be here with us. So thank you. Okay, so now back to our program here. So this is what the Poly-Glaze sheets look like. They have a very light gray tint to them. I don't know if you can see that. If I turn it that way, you can see it a little bit. And then they are coated with a Poly-Glaze coating that will grab your foil. Oh, tonight I will be on at 6:10 Central Time, but I'll put all that information everywhere. I'll put it here on YouTube. I'll put it in my community tab on our Facebook group. So don't worry, you won't miss it. The show starts at 6:10, but I think my time is 6:30. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of foil, and I'm going to use gold because I love the look of the gold. I'm going to use the iCraft Deco Foil Plain Gold for this. And we do carry tons of foil in our store. So if you need to start, you can get a couple of colors to get started with. I'm going to get one sheet. Now, these are very thin. See, it's very easy to pick up more than one sheet. And I'm going to lay this right on top. I'm going to do my whole sheet here just because it's going to be easier to do it this way. Now, some people ask me, should I die cut my flowers first and then foil them, or should I foil them first and then die cut later? I'm going to foil the whole thing first. I love to foil first if I can. And the reason I like to foil first is because sometimes your dies can put little dents in your things. And if there's a dent somewhere where there's Poly-Glaze, it won't foil. Shouldn't be a problem with this, but still, I'm going to foil first. So you can see I put that into my carrier sheet, and I'm going to send this through my Mink laminator, folded side going in first. Okay, so this is going in. Now, if you're not using a Mink or an Off Nova laminator and you're using, I'm so glad you guys are going to be there. I'm reading all your comments and I appreciate that so much. Yes, you can use my foil with the Poly-Glaze. Absolutely, Betty. My foil is made for this type of thing. Any foil that works with a laminator will work with Poly-Glaze. The kind of foil that uses the hot foil plates and the big machine that you have to buy, it won't work with that. But it will work with this foil. Any foil that comes in those little plasticky tubes, like, let me grab one here. Anything that looks like this will work. It has to say deco foil, but doesn't say hot foil. If it says hot foil, don't use it. Okay. Now, some of you have suggested to foil the images twice. Now, if you're going to do that, I would take it out and just turn it in the carrier sheet, and you can send it through a second time. You don't have to do that if you're using the Mink, but you might want to do it if you're using a regular laminator just to get a little bit of heat on it. Now, I don't know if this is going to be too much heat on the Mink, but I guess we'll find out together, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, I love you all being here so much. This is so much fun. Now I'm going to do all my foiling first, and then I'm going to show you how to stencil. We're going to cut those images out and create a little card. And this is just the first card of this bundle. And I promise you, coming up, I will be using the bundle by itself without the Poly-Glaze because I want to show you how to use it like that. Are you going to carry the adhesive foil? What was that? Adhesive foiling sheets again? Yes, we should have some in stock. And if we don't, we probably either have them on order or some of them recently sold out and we have more to order. Okay, now I'm going to do the peel and reveal. And you can see how beautiful that is. Look at that. Every little drop is foiled perfectly. Such a pretty design, all of these roses. Now, I kind of think this by itself would be a spectacular thing to cut out and arrange for a 50th anniversary card or a wedding card. You know, we're going into wedding season, right? So these Poly-Glaze sheets would be great for wedding cards. But I'm going to show you how to stencil them. Before I do that, I'm going to Poly-Glaze one sheet of these words as well, because I do want to cut out the words. And I love these words. So I want to show you how pretty they are. So again, I have one single sheet of foil. Now these words you definitely could cut out first before you foil. However, it might be a little harder to see. And if you foil them first and then cut them out, that would even be better. Let's see here. I am not 100% sure. This one looks a little weird to me. I'm going to try it. We'll see. Okay. I'm going to foil this one and we'll see what happens. Goodness gracious. Let's see here. Okay. Make sure, because there was one test run that I don't know if I grabbed the test run one or not. I may have. I certainly may have. And if I did, I have some other ones around here somewhere that I can foil. But there was a test run just to see spacing and stuff. And they sent us a bunch of tests just to see the spacing, but it didn't have the Poly-Glaze on it yet. So let's hope I didn't grab that one instead. We'll see. Let me peek. Okay, I grabbed the wrong one. So Tom, can you do me a favor and go and check in my office for the ones that I already pre-foiled? They should be sitting on my desk. And in the meantime, I'm going to get started with these. Okay, I'm going to get started with these. So now what you're going to do is, let me get a little piece of cardstock here for underneath. Now I'm going to die cut the pieces that I want first. Now that I can see them really well, it'll be easy for me to die cut here. Okay. Let's go ahead and get my die cutting machine. Now you guys can see that okay, I think. And let me get one of our dies. Okay. Yeah, I think I just grabbed the wrong pack here. Sorry about that, guys. Nothing's worse than using a tester pack that didn't test properly. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this big flower first. And you can see how easy that is to cut out. Now, if you want and you feel very good at what you do, you could cut out a couple of them together. So maybe I'll do that. Not that I'm feeling good at what I do, but you know, you guys have been with me for a pretty long time already today. Okay. There we go. All right, we're going to cut those two out first. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm going to send it through. If Tom can't find them in my office, I do have the sheet that I was working on down below, but I wanted to show you from the open pack. I think he may have found them. So you can see how pretty they are cut out, right? And foiled. Perfect. All right, let me show you. You can just put that right down there. So here is what the greetings look like when they're foiled. Hey, Tom, can you tell everybody out there just to hold on before they do anything with the Poly-Glaze? Because I just want to confirm. Okay. So you can see here how they look all cut out. Aren't they gorgeous? That's the thankful for you. Here is a birthday wish for you. And then here is so very grateful. Love, love, love. All right. And then I also had had done the dots so you can see the dots. Aren't they fun? Polka dots are always so fun. Okay, so I got these two. I'm going to put them aside. I'm going to cut a couple more, and then I'm going to show you how we can put together a little design. So I'm going to cut this one here. And then I'm going to cut these. Oh my goodness, I'm doing this all without taping anything down. Do you think I can do it? Just, I feel your good mojo being sent my way. So I'm going to cut these. And there is enough on each sheet. They come in 10 packs. There's enough on each sheet, each individual sheet, to do 2 cards at least. And I think that that's really fun because that gives you 20 cards with a pack of Poly-Glaze. And that's if you have really busy designs like I'm going to do. I'm doing a very busy design here, so you can see those. And then I'm going to cut these 2 smaller leaves out. And I think that's all I'm going to cut. I'm going to leave the rest. I'll be using them in another project for sure, but I really don't need them all. So I'm going to just do a small design. All right, so we'll just cut those out. Some of them are a little tight to cut out together. So just space them out like this when you're cutting them, and then you can go back and cut the other 2. Like these 2, the dies might be a little close. I don't know, maybe not though. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to show you a little trick on how to stencil. Is the Petite Flourish stencil ever going to be restocked? Do we have a Petite Flourish stencil? I don't think we have a Petite Flourish stencil. I don't think so. I don't think we do, but I could be wrong. I would have to look. I don't think we do though. Okay, now that we've cut those out, alrighty, now it's going to be time to stencil. So the way to stencil these, the best way is, okay, I like to take just a tiny little bit of tape, a little bit of tape runner, tiny, unless you have a mat that is sticky, and then put that right on the back. Oh, the embossing folder. Oh yeah, that'll come back in stock for sure. Okay, and then I am going to lay this right on top, and you'll be able to see because the gold will disappear. See how the gold just disappears? And then if you want, you know, if you feel better about it, which I do feel better about it, yes, the negative of the Poly-Glaze can be used on a toner sheet. Okay, and then we'll get this in place. Now I'm going to do a very light color combination here. So I think I'm going to use, let's see, I think I'll use some, maybe I'll go a little bolder. Maybe I'll go with Passionate Pink. Oh, I'm being bold today. And Sweet Mango. That's a fun combination. I know they're not red like roses, but I still think it's fun to do these color combinations. So let's start with some Passionate Pink. I'll grab my pink brush here, and then I'm going to start inking this with the Passionate Pink.
So why not stencil before you die cut?
Well, because...
Oh, I have my mic down.
So,
yeah, why not stencil before you die cut?
Tom is asking why not stencil before I die cut? Because there's all these other images on here. And it's going to be so easy to stencil into something else. I'd rather cut out the ones that I want and stencil those and have these ready to go and cut out, because I might want to color these with Copics or colored pencils and Gamsol. So I like to do it this way. See, because this flower's open. So if I had this under here and I was doing this one, there's a chance that I'd get it on the leaf or I'd get it somewhere else and you'd have Post-it notes everywhere. This is a lot easier for me. So I'm starting with that, and then I'm going to go into a little bit of Sweet Mango. get my orange brush. This is going to be a very bright, fun card today. And we'll get a little sweet mango in here. Add that in a couple spots. Ooh, that's pretty. And then a little bit more of that passionate pink, because I don't want to take away all the pink. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. So easy. So easy. That's right. Roses come in all different colors. And I have seen roses in this combination. Okay, so the next one I want to do is this one here. So I'm going to do the same thing. Where's my tape? Just a little tiny bit of tape. And you know, you're going to tape these onto your card anyway, so it's not bad to do that. And then I'm going to lay this on top till the gold disappears. Now, if you were doing this with the stamp set, you would do the same thing. If you stamped this image in black or a color, you would just put the stencil on top until that line disappeared, and you would know then that you're perfectly centered. Okay, again, I'm using some of this passionate pink, starting with that. And then I'm going to add some of that tangerine in there. Not tangerine, I'm using sweet mango today. I love this color combination. It's so vibrant. See how easy that was? Let's pick this up. Now you can take a paper towel and just rub over the paper towel in case there's any ink that's on the gold itself. It won't seep into the gold because the gold is non-porous and dye inks won't work with anything porous. So there are two. And we're going to do this last one, and then we'll knock out all this greenery. Now here is my little trick for this. Okay. So you got to figure out which one this is, and there's a couple different ones. So what I would do is I would try one, and if that didn't look right and that doesn't look right, then I would try the other one. Okay, now once you know which one this one is, you can take a Sharpie and you can write a number or a letter, let's say A. And then on your stamp set, where that same flower is, you can write A on your sheet. And this way, when you're ready to stencil, you know, oh, I just stamped this. Maybe it's this open one. I just stamped this one. That's A if I want to stencil it in. And you'll be able to find your stencil area right away. And that dries pretty quickly. And if you don't want it on there anymore, just take a little rubbing alcohol and it'll come right off. Okay. So now I'm going to ink this up with some of that passionate pink and get a little bit of that tangerine in there too. Okay. So now we've got that part of the rose done. Now, if you were doing the two-step stamping, you would just stamp that part in green, but here it's in gold. Okay. Now we're going to do the leaves, and I'm going to tape all these leaves down so we can just shuffle around really quickly to do these, and then we'll throw our card together. And it's amazingly quick when you stencil. It's so much easier than coloring. It's so much easier than even stamping. Although I love the idea of having the option to use these solid stamps, because with the solid stamps, you can do other fun techniques. Like you can do that technique where you roll one color around the outside of a stamp like this, or you do a crisscross design with a background stamp to create a plaid, or you do the kissing technique, things like that. So I love having these big, bold stamps, but this does make it easy. All right, so for this one, now you've got these single stamps, but they're all built into this design. So the first one is this one here. And again, I would just number that. I would put on here, this is leaf B, and that coordinates with leaf B right there on my stamp set. That'll make it easy. You only have to figure it out the one time. Okay. our rubber background stamps were discontinued. We are actually redoing a lot of them in clear. Clear has gotten so much better that we are doing clear because they're much easier to have manufactured. They come much faster. It doesn't take as long. They're indexed. So, okay. All right, here we go. I'm using some grass green for this. Now, this has a little part that sticks out, so I'm actually going to just brush the ink on this way toward the way that piece is coming out of the stencil. Like that. There we go. I'm rubbing it off instead of with a paper towel with my finger because I'm lazy. All right, now the opposite one works with this leaf, the smaller leaf. And again, same thing. So I love that it can do this whole design all at once, or it can do the individual designs just by using those same pieces. So it gives you so many more ways to use this. Okay. And we'll do these tiny ones. Now, the tiny ones are on this design right here. It's these two leaves. So we're going to find that one right there. And again, mark them up so that you always can find them easily. And this one is right here. Okay, so now we have all of the leaves and all of our flowers for our layout. And I've already got my foiled greetings here. Let me just pull this one off. I've already got my foiled greetings. Thank you, Tom, for bringing those to me. And now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a shape. So I'm going to get my die cutting machine and cut out a shape. We're definitely going to use the Swiss dot here as the background. I'll get my die cutting machine. And I'm going to cut this one out with Master Layouts 2. So let me find that. Master Layouts 1. Oh, they're way across the room here. Here they are. So Master Layouts 2. So we'll cut out the polka dots with the stitched die from Master Layouts 2. And if your dies ever get warpy, all you have to do is just lightly bend them back into shape. Now here, I'm going to make sure that it looks kind of even. And I think that's going to look pretty good. Let me come over this way a little bit. There we go. I think that's going to look pretty good. When it's a pattern like this, it's nice to be able to, you know, cut it out yourself. Make it straight. You could use a little washi tape if you want. You could use the whole panel too. You don't have to cut it out like I am. Okay. Can you do the stencil first and then put the embossing folder and emboss? I would think so. It's just, you'd really have to line it up. So if you feel like you can line it up well, I would definitely do that. I tend to like to cut everything first. That's just my thing. It's easier for me. I don't have to worry about it at all. I'm going to cut a black panel now from Master Layouts 2. This is the cutest little... Oh, those polka dots. They get me. They get me. I love dots so much because they're just so happy. They feel very springy. But they're also cute for winter cards too. That would be great for the background of a Christmas card. Okay. Now I'm going to cut a shape. So let me just find my shape dies here. I think a circle might be fun to do. So we can see a little bit more of the dots. I don't want to eat up all the dots. So I've got this. Let me see how this would look. If I did something like that and then had a little greeting coming down here, I think that would work. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I will do that. Okay. So I just need a white piece. Let me grab a scrap from my scrap box. I don't know why they're not easy for me to grab. They're all like kind of stuck together. So I'm using the double stitched circles here. This is one of our kind of staples in our collection that never goes away. And I'm using the medium size circle because I don't want it to be too big. So there's my circle. And now I'm going to use the double stitched medium circle, the single stitched, I'm sorry, the single stitched to do the shadow layer. Got to have that black shadow layer here because I've got black in the other part as well. Now, what color card base should I do? Should I do like a passionate pink or should I do a green? Maybe a green would work because that passionate pink is going to be too pink because it's all mixed with that sweet mango. So let me see. Let me look at this. We'll look at this together. What do you think of just a simple grass green background with these leaves? And then we've got the polka dots in there. I think that might look really pretty together. Peach? I don't have peach cardstock anymore. I feel like sweet mango is going to be way too bright. And it's going to kind of take away from that flower a little bit. I think I'll go with my idea here. I'm going to have to be confident today because I'm going to be on Craft Roulette tonight. So my decisions are going to have to work for me, I guess, right? Oh, boy. Okay, so now I'm going to get my tape and tape this together. Oh, I love the polka dots. We could do a white background too. But I think the green will be nice. It'll kind of accent those leaves a little bit. Keep us feeling like spring is coming at some point. I'm just sticking this up here. I'm not trying to even get it in the camera. I just want to cut that and be done with it. All right, so I've got this panel right here. And I'm going to score that using my Score Buddy at the 5.5-inch mark. This will be a tent fold style card. And then let me get this back here because I feel like you're able to see this better on here. Okay, I'm going to pick all these up. They're all a little bit stuck. And if you don't want them to be stuck anymore, like on the back, you can always take your embossing magic pad, you know, the little dust bag, and just dust onto the back and it won't be sticky anymore. Okay, I am kind of close. For those of you who are watching on a big screen, this card is like 6 feet long. All right, and that's going to go on top of there. This is a springy card. I love the dots though. And then these two are going to get layered together because we're going to actually do the layout kind of on the circle, but not necessarily completely on the circle. It can extend outside of this circle quite a bit if we want it to. I like that look though. That's really pretty. So now we can do like a flower here. We can do a flower here. Move that up a little bit. We can do one that sticks out of here like that. And then we can do our two bigger leaves down here coming off and our two smaller leaves up here kind of coming off of this rose like that. And then we can add our greeting. We can even pop it up. We can add our greeting down there. And then you'll be able to see all of that shine. Oh, I think I like that. We could do something a little bit different. Let me grab one more thing out of my drawer. Don't leave. We could try the oval because I have some pre-cut ovals, and these are the same idea, the double stitched oval with the single stitched shadow layer. And then although I know it takes up a little bit more of the card, you're still going to be able to see it, but then maybe we can get this greeting to fall on top of the roses a little bit better. We can go up just a little higher. I think I'm going to like this a little better. See, that's why I'm practicing today, definitely, you know, not having a plan in mind, since that's really what I have to do on Craft Roulette. Because I don't even know like what I'm allowed to do yet. So it'll go like that. And then this will get to go on top. I think that's going to look pretty and more balanced. So let's do that layout, and then we can pop some stuff up. I've got my big thermo web tape here. And I'm going to cut just a little strip of this off. ThermoWeb is doing new foam squares and tape for me, and I can't wait to show you guys what they have in the works for me. Okay, so we'll get these greeneries tacked down first. I'll add a little extra tape to the leaves. Like that. We'll spread those out and get them in here. And then we'll get these done up here. Need a little more tape on there. Now you could add rhinestones and things to this, but with all of this shimmer from the foil, you almost don't need any embellishments at all. It's so beautiful the way it is. Then this one, I'm going to pull out just a little bit more, make it go a little higher. Like that. Maybe not quite that high, but right about like that. And then these, I'm going to pop up. So I'm going to pop this one up first with a little foam tape. I'll pop that up here like that. And then I'll use the rest of that foam tape here. Like this. Oh, this bundle. I love it so much. And then this can kind of go like maybe right there. So let's get this down first so it's not moving all around. Looks fairly centered. I'm going to go just a little north of center. And then this, I could pop that up. I think I will pop it up. I'm going to need some very delicate pieces of tape here. Put one little bit here. And then we'll get another one. Over here. I think that should do it. This foam tape is very sticky. This way we can get it right there like that. Yes. All right, look at all that shine. Isn't that pretty? You guys, I have so many techniques to show you with this bundle. It's unbelievable. We're going to be playing with this for the next few weeks, so get ready. Yeah, the green is grass green. It's the same green that I used to stencil the leaves. Oh, yes. Love this card. I hope you guys like it too. All right, so another reminder that all of the products in our new release are now available at GinaKDesigns.com. Click on the shop tab and then click on what's new and you'll find everything. Don't forget also that with every $75 purchase, you will receive that beautiful Happy Hydrangea incentive stamp set. And let's see, what else do I have to tell you? And also, don't forget that I will be on Craft Roulette tonight. I will link all of that up in the description here, and then I'll do a separate post on YouTube and another post on Facebook so you guys won't miss it. It'll send you right to the video where you can set a reminder. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun. Tom, can we give this card away tonight?
Sure.
All right, today, keep thinking it's night because it's a release party. It's not night yet. All right, we're going to give this one away.
All right, we got a special release. Cheesy drum roll. Oh, and that gorgeous card goes to Lori Yanachik.
Lori, yay.
Yanachik.
Congratulations, Lori. This one's coming home to you. And Lori, all you have to do is send your name and address to info@GinaKDesigns.com and let us know that you won the foiled bundle card, and we will get that right out to you. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for going with the flow, having a daytime release. We thought it might be fun to give it a try. I will be back this weekend with another 5-minute card video, and I'll be back tonight on Craft Roulette. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.